4 managers, 7 World Cups between them, 3 European Championships, and 4 completely different answers to the same question. How do you build a system that beats the best teams in the world? Tomorrow night in Arlington, 2 of those systems are finished. Wednesday in Atlanta, 2 more. Here's exactly what makes each one dangerous and where each one can be stopped. Deschamps doesn't build systems, he builds conditions. The question other managers ask, how do I impose my identity on this opponent, isn't the question he asks. His question is, what do my best players do naturally, and how do I create the structure that lets them do it? The answer, across 8 years of managing France, has always looked similar. A 4-2-3-1 that collapses into a compact 4-4-2 block when France lose the ball and releases Kylian Mbappé, Ousmane Dembélé and Michael Olise into space the instant they win it back. France under Deschamps have not needed to be the possession team, they have needed to be the threat team. The difference has mattered. Look at the 2018 World Cup. France finished second in possession across 3 knockout matches. They won the tournament anyway. Griezmann linked, Pogba drove, Giroud held, and Mbappé ran. Deschamps didn't have to design that. He had to not get in the way of it. This France squad has operated the same way at this tournament. High average defensive line to compress space. 2 midfielders sitting in front of it. 3 attackers holding width. Possession sits low by design. The moment it's won back, the question is simple. Is Mbappé in space? If yes, the distance to goal is irrelevant. The vulnerability is inversion. When France concede first and need to chase a match, the block has to open, the structure stretches, and the counter-attack becomes France's own weapon turned against them. Spain's wingers specifically love the space left behind an advancing French defensive line. 8 out of 10. The most battle-tested system in the semi-final. Deschamps has built this exact machine across 8 years and 1 World Cup. The risk is that Spain have studied every frame of it. The most common mistake people make about Spain is thinking they still play like Spain. The Spain of 2008 to 2012, Xavi, Iniesta, Silva, Torres, was a patience machine. They would hold the ball for so long that opponents stopped trying to press and started trying to survive. That Spain could sustain 30 consecutive passes in the opponent's half. What it rarely did was threaten to go in behind the defensive line. Luis de la Fuente's Spain can do both. The base structure is a 4-3-3. Wide wingers who pin the defensive line. 1 holding midfielder who anchors the central zone. 2 more who rotate between the half spaces. In possession, the shape expands. Fullbacks invert, wingers push higher, and Spain can appear in a 2-3-5 configuration with 5 players in attacking positions and the ball moving between them at speed. When the gap opens, direct, vertical, clinical, 3 passes, not 30. This is not a coincidence. De la Fuente has specifically built in the directness that Del Bosque's side lacked. Control without sterility. The traditional Spanish DNA, triangles, rest defense, tempo, with an accelerator added when the moment demands it. Spain won Euro 2024 on this exact system and entered this tournament ranked first in the world by FIFA. The vulnerability is structural, in that advanced 2-3-5 shape, 2 central defenders hold the entire last line. A fast transition against those 2, exactly the counter-attack France specialize in, is the opening. 1 ball in behind Mbappé, and the architecture that makes Spain dangerous in possession is the same thing that exposed them, 9 out of 10. The system that is hardest to take the ball off, and increasingly lethal when they have it. De la Fuente didn't just inherit Spain's identity, he made it dangerous in a way it hasn't been in 15 years. Every system in this series connects. They're all in one playlist. The football curriculum, linked on screen. Now, England. When Thomas Tuchel replaced Gareth Southgate, England had the most talented squad they'd had in a generation, and no clear tactical identity to go with it. Southgate's England was built around not losing. Tuchel's first question was different. What if England went first? 70% possession across qualifying. Not by chance, by design. High press from the front, early ball recovery, fullbacks pushed forward as extra width, the central midfield occupying zones and forcing opponents to defend their own half. Set pieces engineered as a goal-scoring mechanism, not an afterthought. This England is aggressive, where Southgate's was cautious. Proactive, where that team was reactive. The clearest model for what Tuchel is building isn't an England side. It's his own Chelsea in the 2021 Champions League final. Chelsea against Manchester City, Guardiola's most complete attacking squad against Tuchel's newly installed defensive structure. Chelsea pressed City's build-up phase out of rhythm. They held the ball on their own terms. They won without a world-class striker in the starting 11. Structure, not talent, decided that final. This England showed the same capacity in the quarter-final against Norway. They went behind to a stunning strike, but the structure held. The press kept coming, the pressure never dropped, and Jude Bellingham dragged the game to extra time and then won it, 2-1. The system kept England in a match long enough for England's quality to decide it. The vulnerability is the gap the press creates. When England are stretched, chasing a game, defensive line high, midfield still pressing, the space behind that line opens. Argentina's liquid formation is specifically designed to find that gap and put Lautaro Martinez or Julian Alvarez into it before the line can recover. 7 out of 10. The system works when England control the terms. Argentina are the most adaptable team remaining. Tuchel's teams have performed under this kind of pressure before, but this England side hasn't. No manager at this tournament has changed more during a match than Lionel Scaloni. 31 substitutions across 6 matches. The full 5 every game and a 6th in extra time against Switzerland. Not panic changes, structural ones. A shift from 4-3-3 to 4-2-3-1 at halftime when the opponent exposed a gap between the lines. A defensive reorganization in the 75th minute when the scoreline demanded it. One formation going into a match, a different shape coming out. This is La Scaloneta, named after the coach who built it. The operating principle, collective spatial control first, goal second. Before Argentina advance, every zone is covered. The press is triggered not on instinct, but on geometry. When the numbers are right, when the trap is already set. The ball is won back in the right space, not just won back anywhere. And then there is Messi, 39 years old at this tournament, operating in a protected central zone that doesn't exist by accident. It exists because 8 other players spend 90 minutes maintaining it, drawing defensive attention, holding the shape, creating the angles that keep his space clear. When the zone opens and the ball finds him facing forward, there is no defending what happens next. Against Egypt, in the round of 16, Argentina were 2 goals down with 11 minutes left. Messi scored 1 and set up another, and they won 3-2. 8 goals in 5 matches at this tournament. The all-time top scorer in World Cup history. The historical parallel isn't Guardiola or Mourinho, it's Marcelo Bielsa. The Argentine football philosophy of collective intensity. Every player reading the game as a system. But where Bielsa treated his tactical structure as sacred and would sooner lose than compromise it, Scaloni treats it as a tool. The system serves the moment. The moment is always changing. The vulnerability is that same structure. The system is calibrated around Messi's zone. When an opponent successfully neutralizes it, marking tight, pressing his service, forcing him into wide areas where he can't turn, Argentina's offensive options contract faster than any other team remaining. 9 out of 10. The defending champion playing with the tactical intelligence of a team that already knows what it takes to win this tournament. England have the structure. Argentina have the experience of what it actually costs. 4 systems, 2 semi-finals. Tomorrow, France's pragmatic counter-threat meets Spain's evolved positional control. Wednesday, Tuchel's structural press meets Scaloni's fluid adaptation. Now you know what each manager is actually trying to do on that pitch. Which of these systems do you think gets knocked out first? And which manager reaches the final? Drop it in the comments. EP3 goes up this week. Every way underdogs beat giants, explain.